Welcome to New Japan Puroresu Review. I am your host, Andre Z, and right on screen, left in real life, it is the other host, Melball. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It is a cold morning here in Canada, but we cannot complain about that because, man, do we have some ish to talk about today. Andre, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. A little chilly. Got the blanket on, covering my legs, keeping my footsies warm because I'm sitting in my basement. Got my hoodie on to keep me warm, keep me going. Minus 35 out. But we are here to talk some great professional wrestling, some exciting matches from 3 nights of the World Tag League and Super Junior Tag League, starting on December 3rd. Yeah, but before we get to those, I want to thank our sponsors over at Rogue Energy. I can scan the QR code right down there in the bottom right corner, as Mel has indicated, and use the code OLEPODS for 10% off your order. Thanks to our friends at Rogue Energy and our friends at our local establishment. So we are going to get into it. You ready to get into it, Mel?
Oh, I am ready to get into it. These were 3 incredible nights of shows. I can't wait to talk about them. Let's get into it, man.
So we are starting with the December 3rd show from the World Tag League. We're going to start with my pick. I'm going to start with the pick. It's Gabriel Kidd and Alex Coughlin, the graduates of the LA Dojo, taking on United Empire's Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis. I thought, wonderful way to start. Again, one of my favorite tag teams in Aussie Open. I absolutely love these guys every time I watch them wrestle. And they are taking on LA Dojo, who have been just fighting so hard throughout this tournament, but have been coming up short every time. And it's almost heartbreaking every time you see them lose, because these two are fighting so hard and they're working so much. But again, you're going up against a team like Aussie Open, who to me going into the tournament were the odds-on favorites. Again, I think they are still the odds-on favorites to win this, but like in my heart, I want Team DK to win it. Personally, if not them, I want it to be Aussie Open. But you watch them and they struggle and they get so close, but then it's just watching their struggle and their just drive to keep trying to win in this tournament has been awesome. Because again, watching Coughlin and Kidd when they were in strong, they were enjoyable to watch, but again, neither had much of character until both graduated and their characters kind of came out, and both of them are really showing this character. Mr. Sassy Pants himself, Gabriel Kidd, has been doing great, as you like to call him, Mr. Sassy Pants. And then
he's wearing the sassy pants.
Yeah, Coughlin and his android in this I Will Not Go Down, like how he plays it, I absolutely find him phenomenal. But then you got Aussie Open, who I adore this team. Like, there's this beautiful overhead toss by Coughlin, he just nothing. I think it was to Fletcher. He just tosses him over his head like he's a junior. Like he's tossing, like if he was tossing Leo Rush, and just one of those smaller juniors, right? It just, if you picked up Leo Rush and tossed him, that's how he tosses Fletcher. It's crazy the power this guy has. Just Coughlin ended up catching Davis coming off of a splash in the corner, and Davis is how big he is. Another over the head belly. Davis is a big boy, and he just hucks him over his head. No, the power on this dude is insane. But in the end, the end of this match came down to Coughlin gets super kicked by Fletcher, and then Kidd gets just smacked in the face by Davis. I don't know if it was a slap or a forearm, but he just gets cracked in the face. And then which sends, or the super kick sent Coughlin out, and then AO hit the sandwich clothesline and Coriolis onto Gabriel Kidd, and Davis got the pin and the win. Again, it was another one where, the LA Dojo is coming so close. They're getting there, but it's just they're coming up just short. But AO again takes another 2 points to keep themselves at the top of this tournament. It almost looks like they're going to be in the finals if their last two matches don't fall apart on them. We'll get to that after the next show we're going to talk about. As long as actually they only have one more match, I think, because they have a forfeit on the 11th, so they have one more match. If they can win that, they're set. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. But damn, this was absolutely phenomenal. I absolutely love this match.
Yeah, I have not a whole lot to add to that. I didn't take a whole ton of notes on this one, just from start to finish. Very, very solid match from these guys. Again, as you mentioned, just the pure power coming out of Coughlin. The guy is in a constant state of flexing. He's just constantly just looking intimidating as all hell right now. The only thing I would add to that was there was a great chop spot between Kid and Davis, which we know Kid can chop. We've seen him chopping since he started. Sure. To see him go toe-to-toe with Davis was pretty impressive because, as you mentioned, Davis is not a little boy. He's a big boy. He tenderizes them titties pretty good. To add on this, that's going to be said a lot, this one. Just fair warning.
Yeah. No. But I thought absolutely phenomenal match. Just a great way to open a show.
100%.
Yeah. So from here, we are going to move on to the next match in the evening, and that is Bishamon, the team of Yoshi-Hashi and Hirooki Goto taking on the United Empires, Aaron Henare and the Great Okan. Again, this is a must. This is like one of those matches that both these teams needed to win to really cement themselves in this tournament. Neither got eliminated from a loss, but it's a real struggle going into the next show for them if they do not have a win. In the end, Bishamon did get the win with the Ushigoroshi kick combo into the Shoto, and they did pin Aaron Henare to get the win for Bishamon. Again, slightly disappointed. I wanted to see my finals. I either wanted TMDK in Aussie Open or UE versus UE in the final. Those are my two that I wanted. But you can't, especially looking at Aaron Henare and Okan, I can see them not being in the finals because they're, again, pretty much a brand new tag team, even though they've been working together for years. But you get the former winners have to kind of be kept in contention, in my opinion.
No, I have to agree. And especially we had been talking about how Yoshi-Hashi and Goto, both of us are kind of in that boat where it's like we have seen them functioning as a tag team for quite some time. I personally would like to see a newer team kind of come in there and kind of step up to them. That being said, we have seen an incredible amount of growth from both Yoshi-Hashi and Goto as a tag team over this tournament. A lot more unification, I feel, this tournament than we've seen them before, which is incredible because they've already been very unified in Chaos for years. I felt that this match was really fun. You had mentioned it in the video beforehand. I'd like to touch on it this time. The chops that Henare does in the ropes that are similar to the ones Sheamus does. You had mentioned last time they seemed a little rougher than Sheamus is. Especially this time, I have to agree. Just the thuds you could hear. I think it was coming off of Yoshi-Hashi's chest in that kind of move was just brutal. I really enjoyed this. I also wanted to add that I really enjoy how the Great Okan, again, that endless versatility of his throwing in the hair every once in a while, using it as almost a Togo-esque style kind of choking device there. You got to do what you got to do to try to pick up those points. But as you mentioned, in the end, it wasn't quite enough for the United Empire to pick up a win over Bishamon.
Yeah. Sadly enough, Bishamon getting the win here. Not sadly, but I do like Bishamon get a win. But again, I was pulling for the UE. Come on, grounds up. Right. I love these guys. I love the UE. It's a big fan there. So,
100%.
But from here, we are going to move on to the next match of the evening. And this is the match that pissed me off more than anything. And it was, there was two reasons. The amount of dominance that House of Torture got on Minoru, Suzuki, and Lance Archer was almost complete bull. It took me out of this match. It took me so much out of this match. I'm like, this would have been a match of guys just smashing the shit out of each other, and that actually would have been an enjoyable match from House of Torture. But it was them dominating Suzuki and Archer almost the entire match, and that just it didn't make logical sense that the two men that pretty much beat the crap out of everybody else get, even though there was cheating, and they didn't cheat a lot in this match. Was that the other match?
It's a House of Torture match. So I do have show interferes, so they were obviously at ringside at some point.
Yeah, it was. Oh, sorry, that was the match on the next show that they.
Yeah, we'll get to that ish.
But it felt so weird to have Suzuki just selling almost the entire match for House of Torture, and then House of Torture picking up their first 2 points on Suzuki and Archer. I was just like, it was like a dagger to the heart. Like, it's just. It was.
It was.
Yeah. It was a gang attack that got Yujiro put on top of Suzuki for the win. So. Yeah.
I think that the best part of the match was at the beginning when Archer was doing his intro, and his thing has been to intimidate Milano throughout this tournament. What he wasn't expecting, or maybe he didn't know that he was down there, but Shingo Takagi was actually on commentary at this point, hiding behind Shingo. I think that was the only time that I saw Archer actually stop and be like, okay, that's a former world champion. I don't think I'm going to mess with that one.
I want to see that match. I want to see that.
Hey, I mean, I wouldn't not want to see that either. That's two powerhouse men and two men who are not willing to back down to the other one. I mean, Shingo wasn't bothered. He didn't even get out of his seat. So that, I think, was the best part of the match. And that was before House of Torture to even come out. So that's saying a lot.
Pretty much. So we're going to get away from the torture, move on to the main event of the December 3rd show, the night 6, or was it night 6? Yeah, night 6.
7.
No, this is 6. 7 was the next one.
No, well, I have them labeled wrong.
Oh, maybe it's 7. Okay, I'm crazy. So just so
this has been a very
sleepless. Whatever. The December 3rd show. The main event of the evening is Mel's pick. It is Team Bebop, Toru Yano, and Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on Los Ingobernables de Japón in Sanada and Tetsuya Naito. Mel, take her away.
You know, this was such a fun match. I mean, I knew this was going to be a fun one coming in because Yano and Tana, as much as they are, taking this tournament fairly seriously, they like to add that kind of goofy Yano-esque spin onto it. But how dreamy is Tanahashi coming out with that beautiful pompadour and that sexy little jacket?
Every time,
Tanahashi, I like. Hey, I mean, a girl's got a thirst trap on something, right? I don't have Chase Owens anymore. I got to go on Tanahashi. Great opening spot with Naito and Tana. I really love how Naito just does his mind games in everything that he does. He's very much so a performer and entertainer, as much for the crowd as for himself. I feel like a lot of what he does is just to amuse himself throughout the matches, and it works for me because it's great entertainment. Yano trying to do the Paradise Lock. Absolutely hilarious, where he's trying to get it all done, then turns to Milano like, what the heck? Why aren't you helping me? Give it in. Milano's just like, man. I mean, I wish I understood the Japanese commentary a little bit more. It would have been funny to hear Milano yelling, instructions at him throughout that. Subsequently, him getting obviously put in the Paradise Lock himself by the a little bit more educated, we'll say, Sanada. And also Tanahashi, both of them getting put into that Paradise Lock. That lock is my absolute favorite. I know it's one of those things where it's like, it's almost like a gimmick. You look at it and it's kind of like, yeah, okay, they can't move. They got to get a drop kick to the butt. But it adds to the overall entertainment and provides a nice kind of quiet point in the match before it ramps it up again for us.
Yeah.
Massive Destino by Naito on Yano there to pin Yano. And that was another one where Naito took his sweet fracking time, capitalizing on that cover, and I'm sitting here going, oh, holding the O on the Destino for the cover. 11:30 at night. I don't think my neighbors really like me. I don't really care anymore. Andre, what do you think of this one?
I had great fun with this main event. Again, it's that Naito and Yano camaraderie that I really do enjoy between this team. It's really fun to watch how these two like interact with each other in that sense. Seeing like just some like the dragon screws from Tana, I think, are just the way he does them. A lot of other people do dragon screws, but he just does them in such a way it just looks that perfect flow. You just love it, and the ornate ability from him. It's so good. But yeah, like I love the squatting from Yano and Tana. It's just, and the fact that they do it in the matches, it's just absolutely phenomenal.
100%.
Yeah, but again, wonderful way to cap off a night of professional wrestling.
100%. What amazing.
I didn't do my point updates on this night, so I'm not going to give a point update until the next night of the World Tag League. I'm going to give some eliminations on that one too.
Perfect.
So if you're ready, we are going to move on to the night. This is night 7 of the World Junior Tag League. I have it written down here.
Correct.
Correct. Yeah, that's it. Night 7 World Junior Tag League, and the next one's the night 7 of the World Tag League because there's only 2 left.
Oh, okay.
That was night 6, yeah, because there's 2 left on each one. Yeah, I'm not crazy. So
debatable.
We're going to start out with Kevin Knight and Kushida taking on Chris Bay and Ace Austin. Already mathematically eliminated are Kushida and Kevin Knight with only 2 points. Ace Austin and Chris Bay actually are on top of the division right now with 10 points going into this match. Great match overall. In the end, Bay did get ultimate finesse onto Knight, and Ace Austin hit the fold, and Chris Bay pinned Kevin Knight to get the win. But again, absolutely phenomenal opener. The athleticism off all 4 of these guys is absolutely tremendous. And then,
go ahead. Go ahead.
The way Knight Ronald Bay off the top rope, and again, when he leaps up, he latches the thighs onto your head, not just grabs you with the feet, and rotted him off, and then proceeded to hit the electric chair drop kick onto Bay, where like Kushida put him in, and when he drop kicks him, he's up that high, he's kicking him in the chest. Like Okada, man, you don't got the top drop kick anymore, man. It's all about Kevin Knight now, man. It really is.
Everyone's coming for Okada's spots, man. He's got to reevaluate a few things there. The Dermis Destroyer that Ace Austin and Chris Bay have kind of maybe borrowed from Ishimori and ELP. Endlessly disgusting to me. I just hope that their nails are taken care of and not long like mine. I don't know if you got the same thing I did out of this match. A little bit of heat that I was picking up between Kushida and Austin, particularly at the end there. Not a
little bit.
Yeah, no, I don't know if it's just maybe there's that they were doing it for the match, the help to the intensity of the match, or drive that, or maybe we're just getting to a point where everyone's a little aggravated with each other at the end of these tournaments. We don't know, but I felt that it did kind of add to the overall feel and intensity of the match. Definitely made Kushida and Knight feel like they were really, really fighting to kind of earn these points. There was one point where there's a lot of knee kicking that I got very uncomfortable with, where the kicking was coming towards the knee and buckling it backwards. My biggest concern, obviously, hyperextension there. Knee injuries, very, very hard to recover from and take a long time to recover from. So just take care of our knees there, guys. Last thing I wanted to say was there was a cutter spot that looked really, really super cool, but there was the typical North American style prolonged setup for it that I did not like, where everyone gathered and they were standing there and they were just like, "Kumbaya, my lord." Just play something around. You guys are experienced enough, figure something out, muck with each other, distract each other, do something to make that look a little bit more organic. Otherwise, I felt that this was a fantastic opener to start off the rest of this show because I really couldn't pick a favorite match on this show. It was so lit from start to finish.
Well, there's one I could easily not pick, but that was.
But
there's four really good matches on the show, and it was hard to pick. I think I just went with my heart on my pick. I'll tell you that right now. We're gonna move to the next match of the evening. In his wild hips, Clark Connors and Ryusuke Taguchi taking on Flying Tigers, Robbie Eagle, and Tiger Mask. The first note I have in here, the first note is both teams are mathematically eliminated. The next note is beer, beer, beer. Oi, oi, oi. Robbie Eagle started doing a chant because this was a cheering crowd. He started doing a chant of Robbie, Robbie, Robbie. Oi, oi, oi. You get the crowd to do it like a few times. And this is where Connors and Taguchi started going, beer, beer, beer. Oi, 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 as they're holding the beers in their hand and drinking them. I absolutely laughed at that. That was just absolutely phenomenal. But again, we got a lot of more pants down, underoos out. Let's smash people in the face with our undie butts. Again, you got a lot of that again in the undie butts. They make it funny. In the end, Connors pulled his pants down, but Tiger Mask stopped the butt smash. Then Taguchi tries, but Tiger stops it, and the ref goes, and he goes for the roll up, but Connors hits he does like a roll over, like a sunset flip onto Taguchi, but Connors hit the bum-aye to Tiger Mask, which sent Taguchi rolling up onto Tiger and his butt in his face. And he got the win. So Wild Hips picking up another 2 points here. Absolutely funny. And after the match, they decided to thong their underwear all weird, like pull it into their ass crack for some weird ass reason. I don't know.
You know what they did there? They did the Rhea Ripley thing where they inserted the underwear up the butt, and then the second part of the underwear was actually underneath the butt cheeks. So we got a butt lift on both of these guys.
Don't need to see that on
more
either
of
of these.
Taguchi's butt than I wanted to. I could see more of Connor's butt. I'm not going to complain about that.
And then they're having their beer, and they give one to Robbie Eagles after the match, and then they offer some to Tiger, but he doesn't want a beer, so they just pour some in his hand, and he wipes it on his face. He wipes it on his face to get the smell of Taguchi's butt off. He'd rather smell beer than smell Taguchi's butt.
Well, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I don't even like beer. There was one point where I did want to mention Taguchi was luring Connors at one point where he had just gotten wrecked pretty much. He was luring Connors into the corner to do a tag with his beer, like, come on, come get it. And Connors just crawling along. It really is like his beer is like his spinach and he's Popeye. It's fantastic. But the one spot that made me just laugh my butt off was the hip attacks that Taguchi was doing on Eagles and Tiger.
Oh, like back and forth?
Yeah, it started with Eagles and then went to Tiger and then went to Eagles and Tiger. And then Connors was holding them, doing a move that I'm calling the hippie shakes, where he was supposed to be doing hip attacks, but it just looked like he was doing a Shakira dance. And then Taguchi then being attacked, Taguchi attacking his own partner after Mask and Eagles were able to reverse
he backed up into his face.
And giving Clark Connors a very nice Brazilian lap dance from his own partner. That was fun. That was the fun part of this match for me. It's just butts and faces, butts and faces, butts and faces. As long as it's not my face.
I know what you mean. Again, great match. Like, honestly, both these teams absolutely phenomenal. But sadly, both are neither has a shot at getting into the finals at this point now. So moving on to the next match, we have the team of Teton and Bushi from Los Los Ingobernables de Japón, taking on Dick Togo and Sho from House of Torture. House of Torture are mathematically eliminated. Titan and Bushi want to keep picking up points because they want to stay in contention to get, to that second place, because I don't know if they can get the first, because I think Bay and Austin might have that. Look, there's again, it's still really close in this. It's still really close right now. So this was one of the better matches from Sho and Togo. Like when I saw them wrestle Catch 22, again, it was actually a really good match. This again, working with Titan Bushi, even with the cheating crap that they did in this, it was still quite a good in-ring match. There's still shots in the balls, things like that. Just you really don't need to see it every single House Torture match. But again, in the end, what is the spot for LJ that where they do the drop kick, where Titan does a drop kick off the second and Bushi does the spine buster? I love that. I really, really do. In the end, though, Bushi and Titan hit the MX Stomp combo, and Bushi pinned Togo for the win.
I think I actually sent you a message about what they've been calling that. I think it's the Immortal Stomp that they've been calling their finish. Write that down. I send you a lot of crap on Instagram, and that was
and I miss half of
it. That's the problem with this girl being the social marketer. She sends a crap ton of a lot of crap that might
Send not it be through Facebook Messenger. I'll see it better. Yeah,
you're absolutely right, though. This match it was actually one of the better matches that we got out of House of Torture in this tournament for all the cheating that they did do. I just wanted to point out the mask that Titan was wearing tonight. I think is my favorite mask that I've seen on this entire tournament, which is incredible because he's had a lot of really fun, extravagant masks. This one was in like comparison to like the one in the image right here, very, very tame, actually more comparable to Bushi's, but the color of it I felt was very, very matchy. I really liked how it looked on him. It was like that maroon kind of color with a yellow gold accenting. Looked really, really sharp on him. Something I also noticed, I don't know if you did, Andre, at the beginning when House of Torture usually does their like too sweet thing. Instead of doing a too sweet, they did a cigarette thing. And I found that very suspect. We've been speculating a little bit that, maybe House of Torture should not or is not considered an affiliate of Bullet Club anymore. To be honest, I mean, I've not considered them a Bullet Club faction. And I've never considered them a full Bullet Club faction. So I personally would like to see this continue. It almost angers me when I see them throw up a too sweet because I'm like, you don't deserve that. So what were you going to say there, Andre?
I can't remember if it was night 1 or 2 when Chase Owens was on commentary. He did say that they're still paying them, giving them their money, the merch money. So being that they're still paying them merch money, they're still part of Bullet Club.
So I would say, as long as you're part of my club, you wear something that says Bullet Club or you throw up my hand signal. If you're not throwing up either one of those, I don't think you deserve a royalty check. That's just my opinion.
Chase said they're still paying the royalties, so they're still in the club. So
Chase Owens, deliver a message to your good friend Jay White to maybe reevaluate some team members here on the weakest link.
Let's hope.
Yeah, and also Desperado on commentary for this match. That was fun.
I have no idea. I don't pay attention to commentary because I don't understand them.
The only thing I did want to note on with this one, it bothers me a lot. I've mentioned it before. I love seeing faction unity. I hate that House of Torture has been the example of it in this tournament. I don't like how they've been doing it in that they come out and they're are trying to be a deciding factor in the matches that they do. But it pisses me off when I see, Titan and Bushi being beat up by Evil and Yujiro, and I see no Sanada and Naito, or even Shingo. I get that
or
they want
to,
anybody, literally anybody at this point. And the same thing with Chaos. We see Yujiro and Evil, same thing, but we don't see Yoshi-Hashi or Goto. I understand that there's a certain degree of honor in defending yourself and being able to take care of yourself in situations like that. But these are your team members. If you would not want to be getting your ass kicked in a 4-on-1 beatdown, maybe go through the, flow chart in your head of, okay, the littlest guy in our group is getting beat up by the biggest one in another. Maybe we should do something. But that's just me.
In reality, it's just, yeah, I get it. And none of it makes any sense. Anything House of Torture makes no sense in these days. So
there's that audio out there that's making the rounds from that comedian. It doesn't make fucking sense. It doesn't. House of Torture doesn't.
Not even in the slightest. So we're going to move off of the torture into my pick of the evening, and that is the team of Leo, as I'm calling them now. Yo and Leo Rush taking on my favorite boys, the Sauce Hearts, Lindaman, Alex Zayne. A great match. There's a great opening spot where Zayne actually and Leo working like wrestling, and just the movements between the two off the start, with Zayne ending coming off the ropes and getting a double knee off the ropes, and then hitting the running corkscrew senton. Absolutely great opening sequence from these two. A great way to really push the athleticism for both men. Leo, some of the great stuff he's doing. Gets a suicide dive onto Lindaman on the outside. Just he comes out like a flipping rocket, man. Like the dude is just he looks so crisp doing them. It just like we talk about Maya Iwatani, how hers are so wild and crazy as she comes through. Leo's is like just shooting out like a rocket, like just tight, shoot through. And again, it's that. But again, it makes sense for him having come out like a rocket. Maya's has to look wild, or it would look weird for her. You know what I mean? It's but that rocket style coming out looks really good for him, and just absolutely phenomenal from all these teams. Lindaman getting the judo throw, and tags in Zayne, goes up, but Leo comes off the back of Yo, hitting Zayne off the top, knocking him to the floor. But and then Lindaman, just absolutely coming off the back of Yo to knock him off. It looked absolutely phenomenal. But just all these guys, just the crazy athleticism in this match was just awesome. But in the end, Lindaman hit a backdrop driver onto Yo, and they hit the German and jackknife, but only get a 2 on Yo. Yo kicks out, but he gets Yo gets the European clutch on Alex Zayne and pick up the win like out of nowhere. Like that European clutch came out of nowhere to get the win, and slightly disappointing because I'm a big fan of my Sauce Hearts, but Leo keeping themselves alive in this tournament, keeping themselves within like spitting distance of getting that second place. An absolutely phenomenal match, man. Just everything from all these guys. The power from Lindaman coming out of that little, his size is awesome. The crazy athleticism from a guy as big as Zayne is absolutely phenomenal. Just great match.
100%. I actually don't have a ton to add to that except for Zayne's little combo that he did with Leo and Yo in the corner, where he Frankensteiners Yo, followed by the German to let go of Rush. Then Yo got followed up by a German also onto Rush, where he just flipped him right over to a splash.
Lindaman? Yeah.
Really, really super cool spot. The last thing I wanted to mention was, again, the attitude change in Yo, really, really apparent and evident in this one. I don't know what happened throughout the match, but him and Lindaman started really trading some stiff shots about halfway through. I did notice that professionally speaking, they held it together until the end of that match, but after that bell rung, definite tension and intensity still kind of lingering, especially, again, between Yo and Lindaman. Definitely set up something to see in a one-on-one potentially, though I don't think that one-on-one Yo is quite ready for the smoke that Lindaman would be ready to give him. But otherwise, I agree with you. This match, again, huge. This show, I struggled to pick a favorite match in this because every single match, even the House of Torture one, really, really amazing and enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. Like I've been talking the praises of Alex Zayne and Eldon in this entire tournament.
Mm-hmm.
They have been the biggest surprise for me this tournament. Again, I became a huge fan of Alex Zayne earlier this year. Really getting exposed to him with Super Juniors and only seeing him in a few matches here and there from JCW. Mm-hmm. And I've become a huge fan of this man. I'm a huge fan of Lindaman because of Super Juniors and this tournament. And then Yo Leo have just been an awesome tag team, just really rolling together, I find.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Working very, very well together. I agree.
Yeah. And then you got Mel's pick of the main event, and that is the team of Catch-22, Francesco, Akira, and TJP from the United Empire taking on Suzuki Guns, Doki, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Mel, take it away.
And you have to obviously know exactly why I picked this match, and that was because of that finish. So let's get into this. The start of this match, TJP and Kanemaru having a fantastic start to this match. The veterans, arguably the more senior guys of the team, kind of getting into it, setting up the pace for the rest of this match. Also want to just point out and shout out Doki. It looks to be in the best shape I've seen him in since rejoining NJPW. His arms are insane looking right now. Just gotta kudos to that. I don't know what the submission is named. You're better at the names with this than I am. It's the one that TJP does where he starts off with the looks like he's going to do the sharpshooter, rolls them over. Yeah, breaks on the knee a few times before going into the bridge. I love that finish. I believe Kat Von Hees here does a variation of it.
She just does a sharpshooter that like a arc back sharpshooter.
Into the bridge.
This is the actual Muda lock, which is actually the great Mudas cross them at the ankle and then go back and pull on the neck. Yeah, that is the actual
very
Muda
fun
lock.
Submission. I absolutely love it. And the way TJP pulls it off, too, it's just so smooth, the way he just flows into it. It's almost Zack Sabre Jr. level good of a transition there. I absolutely love it. Let's see here. Kanemaru, when he finally gets back into the ring for the second time, this is after Doki's been getting a little wrecked throughout the middle part of the match. Kanemaru comes in vicious. Absolutely savage. I love seeing Kanemaru get to this level because you know that the level of intensity of the match is going to go up even more. And we definitely saw that. The swinging DDT. I didn't write down who did that. I want to say it was Kanemaru. It was absolutely perfect. I feel it was Kanemaru on TJP that I saw. What was when
I'm
Kanemaru
looking at my notes. I can't remember where that was. I have a bunch of notes for this match.
I got to shout it out. The Doki Choki, Andre. We got the Doki Choki. Not once, but twice. And it was great. I absolutely loved it. I love saying it. Love pulling it out. I'm just going to flat out say it's an incredible move. That's an incredible move. Yes, it is.
If it was incredible, Akira would have tapped out.
I'm just saying the vampire has gotten a certain snitch to tap out to it. So I'm just going to say it's an effective move. I absolutely love the Doki Choki. It was such a fun move. Kanemaru, though, being very, very smart, pulling red shoes into the way to break up a move there. I believe it was Akira who ended up running into red shoes, taking him out. Smart man. I'm sure you love that since you were calling for red shoes to be fired a few shows ago.
When you don't do your job properly, jeez.
The satellite DDT on TJP, absolutely incredible by Kanemaru. Really, really shows the heel master's experience. I actually remember watching some old footage of Great Muta and oh, I can't remember who Muta was facing. I want to say it was Misawa. I'm not entirely sure, but I saw a very young Kanemaru as a young lion in Marufuji's corner, and it was just he looks exactly the same. The man hasn't aged. It's absolutely incredible. At the end, though, we had a suplex de la Luna done by Doki onto Akira for the pin. This match was from start to finish for me, just high impact, high speed. It was exactly what if I'm comparing it to Stardom, what I expect out of anything involving Azumi, Kugoma, Starlight Kid, or even, what was the last one? Hanan. Just some kind of high speed, high intensity match. That was what it was comparable to for the girls. Andre, what do you feel about this one?
Absolutely phenomenal match. Like these guys, both. Like I'm a huge fan of Catch 22. Doki, I can take really Doki and Kanemaru again. They're not like particularly my favorite superstars or wrestlers in NJPW, but again, they're all you put them in the ring. They always put on a good match. They never put on dull matches. There's just the athleticism from all these guys in this one was absolutely fun. The electric chair senton from Catch 22. I say it every time we talk about one of their matches. I love that electric chair senton, like just tossing Akira off his shoulders. But again, it looks effective. It looks like it works. Some great stuff. And then that slingshot DDT. What was it called? This DDT de la Luna, whatever you want to call it.
Suplex de la Luna is the finish
that's the wheelbarrow into the dragon suit. But what's his slingshot move? A slingshot DDT.
Oh, over the it's a Daybreaker.
Yeah, his Daybreaker, absolutely phenomenal. Like just like he hit that in this match to get TJ and almost had a TJP at like 2.9. Was when he kicked out. Like I'm literally typing in Daybreaker right now. So there for the next show. But yeah, absolutely just perfect. Like DDT is just the way he does it, absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, so good. So good.
Yeah. But all these guys, everything they're doing is absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to quickly go over. I'm going to switch over to my notepad. I meant to scroll down. You can all see it there. It's going to be flashy because I'm sharing it and it's being a pain in the ass. I don't know what I've never actually shared a Word document before. So you have you see where we're at after 7 nights, who's still in contention, who's not. Again, I don't know if this is the exact order for who's actually sitting in second place right now. I'm pretty sure it's actually Chris Bay and Ace Austin and then Catch 22 actually each are sitting with the in first and second. If it was to end here, I think those two are the ones that are moving on. But yeah, you have Chris Bay and Ace Austin with 12 points, and you have Francesco, Akira, TJP, L. Lindaman, Alex Zayne, Teton and Bushi, and Leo, the Russian Yo, all with 10 points. So you have a really tight race here. All these teams need to keep winning in their last 2 nights. Nobody has an easy path to the finals. Nobody here. Like if Chris Bay and Ace Austin do pick up another 2 points, they still are not guaranteed into the finals. If they do a win and a loss and all the other teams win, they don't guarantee themselves. There's a lot of interesting ways this can go, but below the elimination line are Wild Hips, Flying Tiger, Doki and Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Kevin Knight and Kushida, and Dick Togo and Sho. Again, all these teams are eliminated from contention. So yeah. So yeah.
What a tournament so far.
So far, so crazy. I really have enjoyed it so far. But we are, I know it's that one. I'm going to move on to the next night. And Mel's actually picking a House of Torture match as her pick for the night. I don't understand.
Given the results of this match, you will know exactly why I picked this match as my pick. Coming into this, I thought they tricked me. They got me. I thought we were seeing a turnover of House of Torture. They brought out Togo with them, and Evil and Yujiro going, no, we can do this. we can do this on our own. We got it. You can go to the back. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, Togo's actually going to the back. No way. They're not going to be dicks. They're not going to be Togos.
My exact note there was, how's the Togo sends Togo to the back? Don't expect him to stay back there. That was my exact notes there.
I have been to some of the most amazing fish markets in Europe, on the Western coast, on the Eastern coast. Let me tell you, I have never smelt so much fish as I did at the beginning of this match.
Yeah.
I did not buy it for 1 second. No, not even a little bit. Getting into the match, though, that sidewalk slam by Coughlin was unreal. The power that he slammed into there, I thought that they were going to actually like mess up the floorboards again. It was unreal. I have to shout out Gabe Kidd calling out the brain buster. First thing I'm like, oh, Tenzon. And then I'm like, cloudy with a chance of meatballs saying what I'm doing. Yes, it was amazing. Not being able to pull off that brain buster, but let me tell you, the chop he followed up with was definitely a shout out to not only Tenzon, but to Cozy Lariat there, Mr. Kojima Satoshi. That chop, whew, that thing reverberated off of the,
very much so.
Walls of the building in there. I got to say it again, tenderize them titties. They were certainly tenderized after that. I think it was Yujiro that he nailed that shot on. If I remember correctly, his boobie was pretty red after that. And Yujiro and Evil have been staying very tan throughout this tournament. So to be able to see the difference in color tone, it warmed my heart. Warmed my black heart. Oh, the booze. I was like, there's a very big spelling error on there. I had no idea what I wrote down. The booze gave away what was happening next. So the booze of the crowd let me know that, the fish had indeed returned to the match and had brought another fish with him. Of course, Togo and Sho showing up to this match, trying to be a factor in the House of Torture. I got very, very angry for like a split second in this match when I saw Coughlin getting pinned. And I'm like, no, we're not going to do this again. But the pop I gave when I saw not only Coughlin pop out, but end up turning it around and pinning Yujiro in return to get the win. This was my choice because this was the breath of fresh air to see the Dojo Boys pick up a win over quite possibly the most dastardly, underhanded, like most manipulative, most hated team in NJPW. To see the good guys finally get that one up. Yes. Andre, how did this make you feel?
I am completely with you, Mel. I absolutely loved that fact that they won this. Again, the cheating. I was really enjoying this match. The fact that like Evil would go to cheat and then he would stop and then he would just do another move. And same with Yujiro. I was really enjoying that. Mm-hmm. And then the cheating proceeded, and I was like, because Coughlin and Kid were looking so good, and then that ending where Evil gets that chair booted into his face. And then Coughlin runs Yujiro into Sho on the apron and then gets that bridging fallaway slam on Yuj to get that win. I really thought they were getting screwed over. And because when they did that and Yujiro pinned Coughlin after that shirt DDT, I really was like, I was literally about to yell the F word. And it would have been at like 7:30 in the morning. I would have been yelling this and it wouldn't have been a good thing. The mom would have killed me.
I did. I was swearing already because I thought it was over then.
Yeah, I was ready to. And then he kicks out. I'm just like, oh, thank you, Christ. And then they get the win. I was so happy. I was so happy, man. That was, again, and you can see the elation on these guys getting their first and probably only win of this tournament. It was huge. It was huge.
To quote Donald Trump, it was huge.
Ugh.
Huge.
Oh God! Oh, you just had to say it, didn't you?
It's better than Pop and House of Torture.
Not by much. Actually, no, I think House of Torture, I'd rather deal with them than that guy. But we are going to move on to the next match of the evening. This is one of the matches I was really considering picking.
Some sadomasochistic stuff there, then, my friend.
I was debating picking this one, but the other one, they just have a little bit of pull towards the main event. But the Empire, it was the Battle of the Empire. And watching the four of them come out all together as an entrance and not doing it as two separate teams was actually impressive, showing the camaraderie between all these guys and what this team means to each other. And just absolutely phenomenal match, man. They had a mascot. I guess they got a mascot now. I don't know what it is, but they got a mascot now.
I think it was for a restaurant or something. I'm not entirely
I don't know, but Gideon did say that Okan had arranged this, and that thing is their new mascot. So again, I don't know. I just don't, but I absolutely love this match. Just everything these guys did together, just knowing each other's moves while also being able to get your moves on the other team. It's absolutely phenomenal. Like just that I love that it's just a sheep killer into like almost like a GTR elbow drop that Khan and Henare do. Again, the stuff like I love that the fact that they differentiated themselves from the team of Cobb and Okan, but still using like the Imperial drop and things like that, but have made their own. And then Davis and Fletcher just there was a spot where they stopped the TKO on Fletcher, and then they tossed Okan, and then they just like both Aussie Open just straight up kick Henare in the face. Well, he's like bent over. It was like I'm just like, oh Jesus! It was just and then there was an exchange of everybody just hitting forearm to each other. Like one would hit one to them, and then a super kick to another, and then it just went around like, and everybody did it twice, and then they all just collapsed to the mat. I was like, oh, and then there was this big, huge brawl. Henare got a spin kick, and Khan hit a Michinoku driver on Davis. I thought that's where it was over. But Davis kicks out right at like that 2.8, 2.9, just kicks it out. I'm just like, oh my God. And this is where Aussie Open come back. They hit the tombstone and sit-out pile drivers to Khan and Henare. Then they hit the sandwich clotheslines on both of them face-to-face. And this is where Khan ended up rolling out of the ring, and Aussie Open hit Coriolis on Henare to get the win. Absolutely phenomenal match. This match, I actually didn't mention on the first one that that both the teams are eliminated. LA Dojo and House of Torture were eliminated. And this one, both these teams were contention. But Henare and Okan losing here puts them below the elimination line. They cannot get into the final. So Aussie Open eliminating their cohorts in Henare and Okan, because technically on paper they have only one match left in this tournament, because they're one of their next two matches is the forfeit. So they've already got those 2 points. They cannot get enough points to even get in contention to be in the finals. So sad to say. Yeah. This match, as you said, very, very fun. I really enjoyed also, just to add to the end there, the passionate speech that Gideon gave the crowd in English. So like, I'm sure there is translation for the crowd afterwards. But like from an English perspective, very passionate speech about teamwork and camaraderie and, being the best version of yourself you could be. I was not expecting such an emotional speech out of Gideon, and I really enjoyed it. And especially while he's giving this speech, the four members of United Empire are comforting each other, holding ice packs for each other, congratulating each other on a great match. This team, despite being what they would consider a heel team,
very much becoming one of the most respected and team-orientated factions that I have ever seen forming in NJPW, even more so than LIJ, it almost pains me to say. And I'm kind of thankful for it. They've kind of become that almost star representation of what it means to be a faction. And I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I have been loving this team since it was formed, and they just keep getting better and better as they add people. But you see the camaraderie when two of the teams in the faction have to battle each other, and there's no hard feelings at the end. I love this. I love this group. I just absolutely do.
True friendship right there.
Yeah, true camaraderie in their team. So we move on to so what would have been the next match of the evening would have been Sanada and Naito taking on General's Duel, but it is a forfeit by General's Duel. And that 2 points keeps Sanada and Naito in this, and they still have 2 more matches to go. Even after this forfeit, they have 2 matches to go, so they are still in this. Even with the forfeit here, they are still in this at 10 points. The next match of the evening was Bishamon, Yoshi-Hashi, and Goto taking on the team of Lance Archer and Minoru Suzuki. Now, this was absolute, just reckless fun. Archer and Suzuki just trying to run roughshod over these guys, and like Goto just taking the brunt of the punishment in this match. It's just Suzuki slapping the crap out of Goto. And just he rear naked choked him at one point, almost putting him out, and he's ready to pass out, and Suzuki just lets him go and tries to pin him. I'm like, I was dumbfounded by that. I thought,
me too.
Why didn't you just keep holding it? He was about to pass out. It's the same thing you get with Sanada though, with his cold skull. They're about to pass out from the pain, then he's like, "No, I'm going to do moonsault." Again, it's that on the moonsault. Yeah, it's that it's that mentality like, oh, I can do better. But the end of the match came. He reapplied the rear naked choke, tries to gotch, but Goto ends up backdropping Suzuki. But Suzuki gets another rear naked choke, but he's running to the corner. And then Archer comes in, and there was a big fight. And then in the end, Bishamon gets a Ushigoroshi super kick combo into the Shoto, and they get the win. Big thing for Goto and Yoshi-Hashi here, keeping themselves alive in this tournament. And then you have Suzuki and Archer being eliminated here. Sorry to say, they have been eliminated with this loss again, but absolutely phenomenal. Just watching like Goto and Suzuki when they're trading shots and they're battling each other. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it.
I mean, do you remember the matches that they had for the never openweight title back in the day that resulted in Minoru Suzuki actually losing a hair versus hair match to where he ended up having to shave his little, I don't even know what we would call that on the back of his head, the little tail, I guess. Oh, I remember. The one thing that I wanted to note on this match that has been amusing me this entire tour, obviously, is Lance Archer intimidating commentary. This, I think, was the most hilarious interaction.
Oh, I forgot to talk about it.
First of all, I have never seen Milano move so gosh dang fast, even in the ring, like to get up out of his seat. It was one smooth motion of just throwing off the headphones and taking off. He was Don Callis gone by like when he saw Archer, in the same way that Don Callis would take the heck off when he used to see Minoru Suzuki coming. That was exactly what I love seeing. But then to see Archer just sit down at commentary next to Liger, and Liger just hand him the microphone. They just, hey, how's it going? Good. How are you? Yeah, fuck you. Okay. Like, that was just classic Archer. It was funny, but it was serious. It was exactly what I expect out of Lance Archer, and it set up for the intensity of this match. Because as you mentioned, this match was intense. Back and forth for these guys. I absolutely loved it. But as you said, Goto pinning Suzuki. I definitely did not expect this result in this match.
No, I'm not surprised to see it due to the fact you kind of keep Bishamon alive in this. That doesn't surprise me.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I would have liked to see Archer and Suzuki go a little bit more, just because of how much we've seen Bushimon. But Bushimon is very, very popular.
Even
He
with
has
another
been
2
around
points,
for quite some time.
even with another 2 points, I still think it would be a very, very long shot, and that would actually limit. With Bishamon would have been sitting in a spot where they would have been again so far out. There would have been a lot just to get again. There is a team at 8 points after this that are still technically in the running for second place. Again, I think everybody's battling for second place at this point, as long as Aussie Open can pick up another win. Everybody's kind of battling for a second. But again, it's all coming down to these last 2 nights. It's going to be a huge spot. But we are moving on to the main event of the evening, and that is my pick of the night. That is Team Bebop, Toru Yano, and Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on Shane Hayes, Mikey Nichols, the mighty Don't Kneel. I absolutely I love these. And TMDK is finally where they belong in this tournament, in the main event. They should have been on the main event every night. It's simple as that. They're the best tag team in this tournament. Tanahashi at the start of this match.
UE might disagree.
Tanahashi at the start of this match starts playing air guitar. And so Hayes decides to play air drums to come back at Tanahashi with his air guitar. I absolutely thought that was hilarious. I was like, yes. Oh, I just love that. I absolutely love that. But yeah, great over match. Tanahashi grabbing Nichols. Sorry, that's the wrong spot. Nichols getting Yano in like the half camel clutch, and then just like hooking his fingers in the nose and like pulling him in the nose. I'm like, okay, TMDK is easily the heels in this. I absolutely was. It was so good. Hayes ends up pulling Yano out of the ring and just like after you get tagged in and just runs him into the barricade. He's just like, screw you, just I'm gonna beat the crap out of you, little effer. And like I love seeing the heelness come out of Team DK in this. I thought it did a great spot. Tana catches the boot from Nichols and just gets this beautiful dragon screw, and then Hayes comes in and catches his boot, beautiful dragon screw, and then hits the scoop slam on Nichols and does that second rope like flip senton and gets a 2 count. But then Nichols like back within like 30 seconds hits this big like Death Valley driver onto Tanahashi, just like, and then both men are down, and like this is where Nichols crawls over to tag in Hayes, and then Yano is tagging in or Tana's tagging in Yano, but it's that reset of the spot. Like I just love both these teams back and forth, and then Tana Nichols goes for TMDK hits the big ending on Tanahashi. Yano breaks it up, so Nichols goes to try to hit the suplex on Tanahashi, but he stops him and hits the twist and shout. And he goes to run, but then Nichols just picks him up and like spins him into like a power bomb and gets a 2 on Tana. Like just the back and forth. It's just, and then TMDK tries to get Thunder Valley. Tana fights out and pushes TMDK into each other. Yano hits them both in the crotch. Again, I know we complain about with House of Torture all the time with all the crotch shots, but like Yano isn't doing it every single match. He's not blatantly cheating every time. Yeah, he pulls the turnbuckle thing off every time, but it's not every time. Like Yano did it a couple matches ago, or Tana did it a couple matches ago. Yano did it this time, but it's not like not like everything they're doing is cheating. And this one again, I see Tana and Yano more as the underdog team in this, even though Tanahashi is the more experienced veteran in all this. It's, you look at it, it's like, no, he needs to rely on those things because Yano's not quite. And he hits the double low blow. Tana hits Sling Blade on I think it was Nichols. Can't remember I didn't write who he pinned. Yano hit the power bomb, and Tanahashi with the high flat low to get the win. Team Bebop keeping themselves in contention for second place. They cannot point enough to take a first place because great, and I will get to that in just a second here. But I'll let Mel get to her opinions on this match before I go into the final point totals.
For sure. Yeah, I don't have a ton to add. I feel that you covered a lot there. I just felt that the teams worked very, very well together. And what I did enjoy about both of these teams throughout this entire tournament is their ability to both be that comedic relief, but that serious match at the same time.
Mhm.
All four of these guys just are very, very good at that in-ring psychology, that storytelling, but also their in-ring performance and ability. It makes for a very, very good match. Even before I'd seen this whole match, I had high hopes for it, and it certainly did not let me down. Yeah, if you're looking for a really, really great comedy but serious match, this is the match you want to watch.
Definitely, absolutely phenomenal. But I'm going to switch over
Mhm.
to my notes again. So you can see right here, I got the point breakdown. Up at the top, Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis with 14 points. Again, they aren't. They only these guys only have one match left because the December 11th show that they are on, they will not be competing in a match. So there is a possibility that if Team DK, Sanada, Naito, and Bishamon all get the 14 points, Aussie Open can lose their top spot and can get taken out of the finals completely. So Aussie Open guarantees them going into the finals if they win on December 9th. Again, it's all up in the air if they don't. Shane Hayes, Mikey Nichols with 10, Sanada and Naito with 10, Bishamon and Goto with 10, all have the ability, if Aussie Open doesn't win on December 9th, to become the number one team going in. All these teams are still in contention for second, along with Team Bebop, Toru, Yano, and Hiroshi Tanahashi with 8 points. But there is a caveat. They are going to need to win both their final matches to get a spot, I think, because you're going to have too many other situations here where they may not be able to be in that spot where it's kind of all up in the air. You look at these 5 teams, it could be any of these 5 teams in there, but it's a guarantee almost that Aussie Open are getting in. It's almost a guarantee Aussie Open. If Aussie Open doesn't get in, then Team Bebop cannot get in. Just by math alone, that means two of the other 3 teams have gotten to 14, and Team Bebop will be eliminated too. It's just there's so many variables going into these final 2 nights. It's going to be very interesting, and I really hope Aussie Open cements their spot in the finals with the win on the 9th, and then you can see Team DK get the second spot on the final night. I hope. That's what I hope. I really hope for a Team DK UE final. That's really what I want. Personally, I know you probably want an Aussie Open LIJ final, I'm guessing.
You know what? At this point, I'm actually very undecided on who I'd like to see at the end, because I feel I've seen enough combinations of these teams fighting that I know who I like seeing fighting and who I don't. Who I don't like fighting is really at the end of that list. So as long as they're not there, I'm a happy camper. But I think at this point, if Aussie Open isn't in the finals, I'll be surprised just because of how high they are right now. Could we see an all Australian final? I wouldn't be mad about it.
You really never know.
Mm.
The big thing is Aussie Open's taking on TMDK on that night. So I almost
be an indicator.
I want to see Aussie Open to win it to get in it, but I don't want to see Shane Hayes and Mikey Nichols lose because I want them to win their last 2 matches, so it guarantees them into the finals. I would love to see a Team DK Aussie Open final. We don't know. Again, there's so many things in the air. I'm super excited for the finals weekend. We will be coming back next week with most likely on Wednesday with a show covering the 7th, 9th, 10th, and 11th to leading up to hopefully Friday dropping a show a week from today, dropping a show about the whole card from the 14th. Hopefully, we're hoping to do that again, time permitting, schedules permitting. We have a few things to go over. So
Lots of stuff to go over. What a tournament. It's finally coming to an end here, and my endless nights of editing and thumbnail making will be coming to an end. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to appreciate the break. The Although I have to say, I have enjoyed watching this tournament so far. The watching part has definitely been my favorite part by far. Whew, Andre, it sounds like we're coming to the end of our show. We should talk about this amazing energy drink and QR code down here. Rogue Energy in your Mina Shaker Kawa special there. What are you drinking in there today, Andre?
It's got juice in there. No Rogue Energy this morning. I just decided to go with juice this morning.
Hey, I mean, it's early. We'll get your energy in there later.
I've got energy. I had a good night's sleep, so.
Hey, there we go. There we go. So Rogue Energy, as we mentioned, is a vegan, cruelty-free, and amazing energy source for you if you are doing gaming, if you are working out, if you just are getting up and need morning coffee and don't have any. That's what this girl does. Tons of different flavors. The amazing shaker that Andre got over there, $17.99 with tax. You get to pick 6 different flavors of your choice that they have available to try, from energy to hydration to protein supplementation. You want to check them out, see all the different kinds of flavors that they have. If you decide to order today, you can use our little code scanning at the bottom there. It's OLE Pods, that's plural, OLEPODS, for 10% off of your entire order. Whew, that was a mouthful, hey?
Yeah. So from there, I want to give a big thank you to our friends at at the Our Local Submission Podcast Network for bringing us aboard, being partners with us. It's the reason we have Rogue Energy as a sponsor on here. So thank you to Our Local Establishment. You can find them on twitch.tv/Our Local Establishment or on Instagram at OLE Pods. There is a TikTok coming. We will have that for you eventually. Again, nothing's happening with it quite yet, but that will be coming. Again, also want to say thank you to our good friends over at Backbreaker Video, our good buddy Mike the Ref, for simulcasting us on his YouTube page. You can find him on Twitch at twitch.tv/Mike the Ref. Then you can see all the wonderful videos that he has up on Backbreaker Video. You may be watching us there. So if you're watching us on Backbreaker Video, please check out our channel, Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. You might be watching us there right now. Thank you so much. Or if you are, you can find me on Twitter at That Canada Guy, Instagram at That Canada Dude, on other social medias that are popping up at That Canada Guy, as I just going to lock them up for if Twitter ever falls apart.
And to follow Melball, you can follow me. Follow me on Twitter at Collins Melball. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Melball Collins. And you can find both Andre and myself on our Facebook fan page, Andre and Melball's Wrestling Talk. That being said, Andre, if you have nothing left to say to our amazing viewers, I am your Melball. That is your Andre. We will see you next time. Adios.